is Monday. I am pleased to tell you, David, I'm very pleased to tell you that today we have Mr. Matt McEwan, and he's the Vice President of Sales and Marketing for a company called Minutes Solutions. Matt, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. Can you tell us and our viewers a little bit about yourself and Minutes Solutions? What is that? What do you guys do?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, guys. Excited to be here. So like you said, my name's Matt McEwan. I'm the VP of Sales and Marketing with Minutes Solutions. And Minutes Solutions is the leader in North America when it comes to professional minute taking. We were founded in 2014, so we're going on 10 years now. And back in 2014, we started by taking meeting minutes with professional minute takers exclusively actually for condominiums and homeowners associations. It quickly evolved to the point that we were working with every industry, everything from government to big businesses, nonprofits, the medical field, finance. And to this day, it's really hard pressed to find an industry that we don't work with. But still, to this point, community associations make up the majority of the meetings we do. And so, yeah, after 10 years, we've documented over 50,000 meetings now for over 4,000 clients. And we, like to think of ourselves as the experts when it comes to professional minute taking, especially for community associations.
Well, my question is going to sound maybe stupid, but I feel like everybody hates taking minutes. It might be right, might be wrong, but why is that?
Well, have you ever taken minutes? It is extremely tedious. It's difficult. It's time consuming. Even our professionals, if it's a 2-hour meeting, they're spending significantly more than 2 hours in taking those notes, cleaning them up, referring to meeting materials. So, it's a tough task. And for the most part, whether it's a manager or a board member, very rarely are you just taking the minutes. You're often asked to be running the meeting. You're often asked to be, an important contributing member as the secretary of the board. So it's a tall task, and it can be pretty excruciating for sure. But, listen, not everybody. We have found over 150 people that not only like taking minutes, but are really, really good at it. But for the most part, I would say everybody hates taking minutes.
I have so many questions, and I didn't even realize there was a company out there that actually fills this void and is providing a solution for, what's seemingly a pretty simple problem, but you're right. Now, why is it so important for the proper operation of a common interest community to have the minutes taken at these meetings? Why is this so special?
Yeah, first and foremost, for a common interest community or homeowners association, they're required to take proper meeting minutes at their board meetings. And so once these minutes are approved by the board, these become a legal record of the community, right? So it's crucial that you're getting it right. It's crucial that you can look back in 2 years if you need to and understand why a decision was made and a little bit of context around it. But number two, as you guys know, these board meetings are really the lifeblood of these communities, right? This is where the business gets done. This is where decisions are made. This is where very important things are approved. So you really need to make sure that your meeting minutes are capturing all this business properly, making sure that things are accurate and making sure that you're not including things that you shouldn't be including. So, it seems like, we're just talking about meeting notes, but it's a little bit more than that when you
Interesting. But what's your solution? How do you address it?
Yeah, so our solution is to trust this crucially important task to a professional, to somebody who has been trained in not only how to take proper meeting minutes, what should be included, equally as important, what should not be included, but also understands how to do it in the specific context of community associations. So, it's a very straightforward, process with us, which I can get into a little bit, but the whole thing is hire a professional, let you focus on what you do best, and let us focus on what we do best.
Okay, yeah. If you don't mind, can we get into that process a little bit? So let's say I'm on a board and we're just having trouble keeping records. How do I get in touch with you guys? How do we begin that process of using a third party to record this stuff?
Yeah, so it's extremely straightforward. We collect a very small amount of information that we need to get started. Of course, important details to kind of set up your account and your community. But the first thing we want to understand is a little bit of details about your preferences when it comes to your meeting minutes. Primarily, how detailed do you want your minutes? What do you want included? What don't you want included? And of course, we will have recommendations on that. And we send people samples to show, this is moderately detailed meeting minutes. This is, the bare minimum that you have to have included. And this is something that we would call very detailed that we wouldn't necessarily recommend. But if you like a lot of detail, it could look like this. So we get that understanding. We have people fill out a very, very short online form. And then it's simply a matter of sending us a link to join your virtual virtual meeting live, or if you're able to, and not everyone is able to record their meetings, you can record your meeting and simply send us the recording to process, get them back in 5 business days, no problem.
Wow.
So you get the meeting minutes back in 5 business days. At one point, I'd like to ask you about cost, and maybe you can tell us if like light minutes versus medium minutes versus heavy minutes is different. But I'd like to touch on that later. Right now, I'd like to ask you, what are the actual benefits? What's the values that it brings to the community to have such a note taker, even beyond just the fact that we have accurate minute? Like, what other benefits do you offer?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, number one, it allows the board members, it allows the community manager, everybody in the meeting to focus on the meeting. Right? This is an important part of running your community. You shouldn't be distracted by taking notes. So, but having a third party in there that is, doing the notes allows you to focus on the meeting. Number two, meeting minutes are a difficult thing to do, as we said. So if you have someone skilled at doing this that can put together a concise yet informative document that people are actually going to read, that you have faith and, to share with the community for them to actually read and understand what's going on without getting bogged down in the details, then this can become a really important piece of communication for your community. And, lastly, it's very important to have an objective minute taker, right? I mean, whether you're a community manager, whether you're a board member, you have skin in the game. And meeting minutes need to be a neutral document. They need to be impartial. And so bringing in a third party ensures that that'll be the case.
I love that.
Yeah, no, this is really great. I'm learning a lot. What makes a good minute taker for you guys? And where do you find good minute takers to hire?
Yeah, it is. It's something we spend a lot of time on because it is very difficult to find good minute takers. I actually just got an update yesterday that we've had 4,000 applicants just this year. It's only March and so far, and we've only hired about 14 of them. So we are extremely selective. That's less than 0.5%, right? But to be a good minute taker, you need to be an excellent active listener. You need to be able to write well, of course, but you need to be able to write in a way that is concise, that, chooses the right language to word things, just right without getting too colorful, but without being, too non-descriptive. You need to be a good typer for sure. At this day and age, obviously everything is done electronically, so you need to be a good typer as well. And you need to be able to take in information objectively and neutrally, and just kind of stick to the facts and understand that, what matters is what's said and not who says it or how they're saying it.
So I understand the mechanical difference between, say, a stenographer and a minute taker, but practically speaking, what sets a minute taker apart from a stenographer?
Yeah, so it's actually a great question. And it's very important to note that what we're doing is not taking word for word transcription of these meeting minutes. We do offer that service, but that's a whole different thing. You do not want to include too much detail. You do not want to have word for word. So, that is really the difference when you think about it. A stenographer is documenting exactly what was said, whereas a minute taker is a bit of an art, a bit of a science. You need to kind of understand what to include and what not to include. So it's a whole different ballgame, really.
Got it. Thank you for that.
Last 2 questions, and there's 2 combined. How long do you keep the record? Can I access them in the future? And is it expensive?
Yeah, so we keep the records, as long as our clients want us to. We do offer free and unlimited storage. So some clients want to take advantage of that for their recordings, their meeting materials. Some of them want us to delete that right away. But especially in the community management industry, there can be a lot of movement of board members changing, community managers changing. So our clients find it very helpful to be able to reach out to us years later and say, can you send me the minutes for this annual meeting we had? And, we'll always have it for you.
And how much does it cost?
So the cost is, I think people are often caught off guard by how affordable it is. And, we do offer our best rate to the community association industry. It starts at $150 for the first hour, and then it goes $35 per additional half hour after that. So if you have meetings under an hour, a board meeting, it's $150.
Wait, because that's $150, but then you said you have to reconcile the note, clean them up. So it's not just that hours, it's like work on the back end as well.
That's it. We charge based on the length of the meeting, not how much time we spend it. So exactly what you're going to pay. If you have an hour and a half meeting, you charge for an hour and a half, and that's it. And we take care of everything up to the back. And it's a process. It's not just the minute taking. After we take the minutes, it goes to an editor, then it goes to a second editor that does a quality control process. So by the time you're getting those minutes back, it's a very polished professional document that you're going to be very proud to share with your community.
I'm sure that there's a lot of boards out there and a lot of community members that would gladly pay that very, very small, that nominal price for that service. I mean, especially you're talking about communities that can be anywhere from 100 to 1,000 to 2,000-3,000 units. You split up that cost, it's nothing. It's a drop in the bucket, man. Wow, well, learned a lot today. Thank you so much for being on the show, and I hope our viewers got something out of it. But we like to give our guests an opportunity to thank somebody or recognize somebody that's been possibly influential in their career. It could be a charity, maybe a mentor of some sort. Matt, can you give some thanks out there to somebody who's helped you along your journey? The microphone is yours, man. Go for it.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, listen, I guess I'm going to thank the founder of Minute Solutions. He's brought me on. I've been there almost 2 years now. His name's Noah Maislin. And, he's the one who came up with this great idea. And he trusted me to kind of play a huge role in helping the strategy of the company and finding ways to help as many people as possible. And, that includes having conversations like this to educate people. And whether they're using us or not, we want people to learn about how to write good meeting minutes because it's important. So I'm going to give a shout out to Noah.
Outstanding. Thank you very much, both of you, for joining us for this latest episode of Community Association Car Chat. To all our viewers, thank you very much. We appreciate spending our Monday morning with you, and we will see you next week with another wonderful guest.